So I'm sure we all love to hear the story of how the heck did you create your persona and where did this all come from and all this and that and all this and that random kind of junky hunky junky. But today I want to talk to you guys about how the freaking heck of gosh I was able to create my persona Velvito. You know the purple white dragon with black pants on with a fedora and a mohawk and tattoo. Yeah, so yes, today I will be talking to you guys about how the heck a freaking goshy gosh was I, spark of imagination, a content creator, a random content creator to be exact, on YouTube, and how the heck he was able to create his persona. And why in the double HD hockey sticks does my persona have to be considered an Easter egg? Well, today I will be here to tell you all of those random hunky-junky questionees that I'm pretty sure you guys are curious about. So, let's get into the fun, let's get into the video, and I'm just wanting to get this over with, so let's go. Okay, so how did I, spark of imagination, create my persona, and why is it considered an Easter egg? Well, that's a great question, and I'm so glad you asked it in the first place. Even though you probably didn't have it on your mind, I'm still very thankful you're asking me that question. And oh my gosh, is it going to be a toughie for me to answer? Okay, I'm just being overdramatic. Anyways, so how did I create my persona? Well, there is a few things I would like to base off of. First off, the species. Yes, Velvito is a dragon. What kind of dragon? A dragon. What kind of a dragon? A dragon! Gosh, like, it's just a dragon. What kind of a dragon though? A furred dragon! See, now there's the big part. So, Velvito is a furred dragon fursona. And with that being said, Velvito is colored his fur in white. Technically all white. His wings are white. His tail is white. His head is white. His horns are white. His tongue, maybe a different color, but on Roblox, it's pink. I don't mind it one bit, do you? I sure hope you don't mind. Anyways, so Velvito is a white fur dragon, and that's technically his species. He's not a hybrid, he's not anything like that. But why in the world did I choose a dragon species? Well, good question, and I'm so glad you asked that. Again, a very, very good question. You get an A+ for that. Anyways, so I created a dragon based on my persona because I love dragons. Okay, like I'm actually being serious this time. I love dragons. Not in the way that you think, but I just like dragons. Dragons are my kind of thing. And why do I like dragons? Well, because I blame a certain purple imaginary dragon named Figment. Oh my gosh, did I just say Figment and I blamed him? No you didn't. Anyway, so Figment was kind of like the reason why I wanted my persona to be a dragon. But not only that, but because I kind of consider my personality something close to being a dragon. Not only is it just me being too overjoyous and stuff like that, but of course I have good ears. I listen pretty well. Okay, I think that's just a false statement. I actually don't listen very well. But I'm still going to consider myself a dragon. And plus, I mean, I've always imagined me being a dragon, just flying through the skies, going loop-de-loop-de and corkscrewy and all that kind of stuff. Like, I like the freedom of flying. But, of course, that doesn't mean that I've gone skydiving or anything like that. No, 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 no. I'm too much of a wuss for that. I don't do skydiving or anything like that. However, I am brave enough to go on roller coasters. I know, I said it. I love going on roller coasters. I'm not a wuss for roller coasters. I'm actually a good person for roller coasters. As in, I love them. I love roller coasters. So that calls me brave. Yeah, I'm sorry if that kind of, seemed a little bit rude, but, I just like roller coasters in general. But anyways, so what about the rest of my character? What does it really mean, and why does it, like, consider it as an Easter egg? Well, as you can tell from the pictures of Velvito, yes, that's his name, Velvito. I'll get into the name a little bit later. But the colors. So, as you all know, Velvito wears white fur. Why does he wear white fur? Well, it's because I like to wear a lot of white clothes wherever I go. This includes, like, my Figment Spirit jersey as an example, white shirts when I go to bed, white shirts where I go, like, work and stuff like that. Like, I wear white a lot. And why does he have black pants? Well, as I will say again, is because I wear black pants wherever I go. Okay, then what about the purple vest? Well, the purple vest, and since you didn't ask, the purple mohawk. So purple is technically representing not only my favorite color, but this is where the Easter egg comes in. So the purple represents my favorite Disney character. Do you know who my favorite Disney character is? If you don't, well, I'm sorry. You should know better. Okay, so anyway, so my favorite Disney character, as you all know, it's Figment. And the purple mohawk and the purple vest actually represent my favorite Disney character. Isn't that like a really interesting Easter egg? I thought it was too. I thought it was like an actual really good Easter egg. Be sure to give me a compliment in the comments below because I desperately need it. Please just give me some compliments, please. But anyways, going away from that kind of stuff, the glasses is because I wear glasses. Why not sunglasses? Well, even though I do wear sunglasses a lot, I also do wear glasses. Why? Well, because I like looking like a nerd. Got a problem with that?
What, wanna fight about it?
Okay, so anyways, going back to what I was going to talk about. So the fedora, what does it represent? So the fedora actually represents one of my favorite singers of all time. Can you take a wild guess? I'll wait. If you answer was Michael Jackson, my gosh, are you so freaking... Okay, you're right. It's because Michael Jackson is actually one of my favorite artists of all time. And the reason why he wears a fedora is because that fedora represents my favorite artist of all time. And that's how I was able to kind of like create my persona a little bit more. And it's actually really cool. Like, I like to put Easter eggs in my character because I think it would be really nice to kind of like show it up a little bit. But I'm pretty sure you get the point. Okay, now what about the tattoos? What do those represent? Well, really nothing. The tattoos kind of represent just a little bit more style on my persona, Velvito. And, the tattoos are just there for kind of like just decorations. Nothing more intentional or anything like that. I don't even have any tattoos on me because I don't know. I just don't want to have tattoos for like on my skin at the moment. But maybe later on I might get tattoos. Maybe. I don't know. But anyway, so that's kind of like one of the main Easter eggs on my persona. And I don't know if like you might seem that pretty interesting, but this is where the big stuff comes in. Now, for technically like the bigger Easter egg. So, the name Velvito. Now, I get this a lot, and, it's starting to piss me off when people do it. Okay, it's not. It's not. Okay, calm down, calm down. It's not pissing me off. Maybe just a little bit annoying, but it's not pissing me off. So anyways, first things first, let me confirm. The name Velvito is not cheese. It's not cheese. Velvito is not a cheese name. It doesn't represent any sort of cheese. The only kind of cheese that comes close to Velvito is this brand called Velveeta. Velveeta is a cheese. Not Velvito. Velveeta. Get it right, people. My gosh, you guys are like killing my brain cells just by doing something like that. Stop it. But anyway, so Velveto is technically a name that represents two things. Um, well, not two things, sorry, one thing. But my character also represents something. So I'm pretty sure a good portion of my OG friends remember my old personas named Rico, and my other one being under the name Bolt. Now, this is where the Easter egg comes in. So, Velveto, what does it sound really close to? Rico. Of course it does. Why? Because it just sounds very close to it. And why does it sound close to it? Well, because it does. That's really it. It just sounds really close to the name Rico. Rico Velveto. Rico Velveto. Rico Velveto. You see, you kind of understand what I'm trying to say here, right? Like, you understand it? I sure hope you do, because this is going to be in your test tomorrow. But anyways, so Velveto is a very close name to one of my main personas and one of my original personas, which is Rico the Arctic Fox. Now, that was kind of like one of the main purposes of my name, was kind of like have it represent my past persona before I left the furry fandom for a few years and then all of a sudden just come back. Now, of course, my persona doesn't have like a ref sheet. There's no art pieces of it. There's nothing like that. It's just, as of right now, a Roblox character. Do I have plans to get a ref sheet and artwork of Velveto anytime soon? Kind of. Most likely soon. Okay, maybe not for a while, because, I mean, to be honest, me getting a ref sheet and art of Velveto is honestly not on my mind. I have far more important things to be saving my money for, like, for example, me going to Epcot. So that's kind of like one of the main priorities as to why, like, I don't exactly want to save up for a ref sheet or art of Velveto. Although, of course, a ref sheet would probably be very, very helpful, especially if I plan to get, like, a fursuit in the future. I just generally don't think that me getting a ref sheet or any sort of art of any kind of Velveto is technically important. But, anyways, so that's kind of like one of the main Easter eggs when it comes to the name. Now, what about the dragon part? So, that's a really good question, even though, as I will say again, you didn't ask it. But I'm just going to respond to it anyways, because I'm pretty sure it was on your mind. Right? So, the dragon thing. So, as you all know, my secondary persona, which is the one I never ever used, was named Bolt. And Bolt was a furred dragon. I had a kind of a mixture with him. I mean, sure, he was just a normal dragon, but I also had his design kind of close to like a Dutch angel dragon. Now, for those who don't know what a Dutch angel dragon is, it's kind of like a dragon horse hybrid. And I mean, that's technically all I know. I don't know very much about it. You can always, research. I don't know why you'd even do that in the first place. But there's technically Dutch Angel Dragon. That's kind of like the summary of it. And short summary, it's basically a dragon horse hybrid. And it's a very, very popular species within the furry fandom, aside from a few other ones like foxes and wolves and dragons and foxes and wolves and dragons and all that kind of stuff. But that's kind of like where everything stands. But that's basically it, actually. I mean, there isn't really much more information to share about Velveto. I mean, besides the fact that from what I'm trying to portray as Velveto is basically kind of like Figment, where he's jolly, happy, very friendly, and he loves to go places. He loves to ride roller coasters. He loves to talk a lot. Kind of like the same kind of personality that I have, very bubbly and all that kind of stuff, because I kind of want to have Velveto represent me in some sort of way. But anyways, you guys, that is going to be the end for today's video. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and thanks for listening to my TED Talk about Velvito. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video, especially if you liked it, because I hope you did. If you don't, I'm going to come after you. Anyways, keep sparkling with your imagination, and bye-bye. Hey, um, where am I? Hello? Hello? Hmm. Something doesn't really seem right here. Okay, yeah, I am not liking this whatsoever. Hello? Hello? Hi? Can you hear me? Hello?